تحية طيبة لكم جميعا مشاهدي آيتاك عبر قناة الحرة. نحن معكم هذا الأسبوع من مدينة لاس فيغاس، وللسنة السادسة على التوالي في تغطية خاصة وحصرية بآيتاك لمعرض NAB 2010، معرض الرابطة الوطنية للإعلاميين المتخصص بكل ما يتعلق بتقنيات الإعلام المرئي والمسموع. مجموعة من اللقاءات والتقارير بانتظاركم هذا الأسبوع والأسابيع الثلاث المقبلة، وذلك لضخامة الحدث من هنا من لاس فيغاس. كالعادة نتواصل دائما عبر بريدنا الإلكتروني aitak@alhurra.com. يمكن مشاهدة هذه الحلقة وحلقات أخرى من آيتاك في أي وقت على الإنترنت على youtube.com/الحرة. آخر أخبار التقنيات والبرنامج تابعوها دائما من خلال فيسبوك وتويتر على آيتاك شو. قبل الدخول إلى قاعة المعرض، ماذا سنشاهد معا اليوم في الأسبوع الأول من التغطية الخاصة والحصرية بآيتاك لNAB 2010؟ أول كاميرا تصوير محمولة ثلاثية الأبعاد، البث التلفزيوني الحديث من خلال الخوادم وتقنية المعلومات، أحدث طرق إدارة الموجودات والمواد المصورة، نظام تقني متكامل للإنذار والتأهب العام، طرق تحسين النتائج في محركات البحث. باناسونيك عرضت هنا في NAB 2010 بلاس فيغاس أحدث ابتكاراتها في مجال التقنيات الإعلامية، حيث أطلقت للمرة الأولى أول كاميرا محمولة ثلاثية الأبعاد عالية الجودة 3D HD كاميرا يبلغ سعرها $21,000 أمريكي، وستطلق في الأسواق ابتداء من شهر سبتمبر 2010. نتعرف معا على Panasonic AV Cam 3D HD كاميرا Solid State Memory.
Panasonic is showcasing 3D camera, one of the world's first solid-state memory card, single one-piece camera recorder. And this is the AG-3D A1, and it has a 2 lens and 2 image sensor and 2 recording, and record onto the 2 separate SD memory card. And each card records left and the right image. Also, this will have a zoom and the focus and the iris, and also the convergence control, and automatically controls the 2 lens. And also we have a interface on the back. It has a dual HD SDI and output left and right image simultaneously. And also we have a HDMI interface. This will allow output to the consumer 3D TV set. And also we have a headphone jack and also camera remote control of the zoom, focus, iris, and the recording start-stop, and also the convergence control. This is all the menu controls of the recorded files, and also all the 3D clips will appear in this side LCD monitor, and you can use the menu to control the clips. And also you can play back the cards. This is the external microphone, and also we have a built-in microphone, so 2 channel and 2 channel of audio, extra audio. So we have a total of 4 inputs audio. This is a 3D production monitor, and this is using a polarizing filter in front of the LCD monitor, and it has a 2 HD SDI inputs to view 3D image with a line-by-line 3D image. This is a new AV mixer, and it is a high-definition supported AV mixer. And also at the same time, as an additional feature, it supports 3D switching. And this will be available July this year at $5,800 www.panasonic.com.
تقنيات البث التلفزيوني تختلف وتتطور مع الوقت ومع التقدم التكنولوجي. تقنية المعلومات IT دخلت أيضا على طرق البث التلفزيوني، فمن الطريقة التقليدية للبث التي تعتمد على عدة أجهزة، اليوم أصبح هناك طريقة أحدث تعتمد فقط على البرامج والخوادم IT servers. في هذا المجال OMNIBUS قدمت ITX.
At NAB this year, Omnibus is majorly featuring ITX, which is our groundbreaking new software playout solution. So what ITX does is it's a bit like what Final Cut Pro has done for editing. Final Cut has now made editing just a software commodity product, and ITX is doing the same for transmission. So ITX is a software product in a box, in a CD, you install it, and now instead of all that complexity of broadcast hardware, all we need is a single IT server, and we can do the equivalent that you would normally need all that equipment for. So here at the show, we're running about 10 HD channels here. Each of those channels has full branding and master control effects and voiceovers and logos and video effects. And all we're using is this rack of IT servers. So each of those 1U servers represents an entire television transmission chain. And because it's a networked system, it can all be controlled by a single operator or multiple operators at workstations like this. One of the things about our user interface is it's highly configurable, because every broadcaster has their own different ways of working, and rather than force them to work our way, we try and be very flexible. It's also very fast. People think moving to PC-based systems would somehow restrict you, but in fact it's quite the reverse. So here, this is my current playout channel. I can look for content, I can preview some content here in my desktop and decide, yeah, I'd quite like to put that on air immediately after the current commercial. So I'll just drag it into my playlist and then go take next, and immediately I've put that clip on air without any queuing or any preparation. And if I now need to add a logo, I can then just click on my live logo control here, and I can add some logos on here. I've got 3 different logos on the screen at the same time. So it's very fast, very flexible, and I can monitor not just a single channel, but I can monitor a whole load of channels. So here you can see all the channels we're running here at the show, and I can look and I can see that that item coming up in an hour's time is not ready yet, so I can see that I need to go and intervene. So it's very easy for a single operator to monitor 30, 60 channels all from a single user interface. ITX runs on a Windows server operating system, so we're agnostic of which particular one, but obviously we tend to work with the most up-to-date. So most of these servers are running on Server 2008. ITX is in use in about 1,000 channels around the world, and that ranges from very high-end HD movie channels to news channels to sports channels, music channels, the whole range. In fact, Alhurra TV themselves are a new customer of ITX, so they'll be using ITX to provide better quality transmission with more features. You can find out all about ITX by going to omnibus.tv.
من أهم التحديات داخل المؤسسات التلفزيونية هي عملية إدارة الموجودات أو المواد المصورة بشكل صحيح وعملي يسهل الإنتاج داخل المؤسسة. برامج عديدة لهذا الغرض، من بينها Gravity الذي تقدمه شركة Solid State Logic، Gravity Asset Manager و Package Production Tools.
The thing that we're going to look at first of all is the Gravity Asset Manager. This really is the main portal into the whole system. It controls the encoders, it controls decoders, it controls scheduling. I can take material, for example, here. All of my material that I have available is sitting here in my media browser. Just to explain a little bit about the different windows. I can grab any of these PyCons and drag them into the main window. I can scrub through those, play. I can set in points and out points. And then I can assign this to an editor. The editor then can see any of this data that I've added, pick it up and start editing with it. So on the media browser side of things, we have a bunch of different tabs as well. Now these tabs are completely customizable. I could look at text, or I could look at PyCon with text. And all of these are searchable as well. Moving on to the other windows, we have our main player window. We also have 2 smaller windows, which we call mini windows. Now the idea of the mini windows is that I can actually play these as separate little monitors, and I can have up to 5 mini windows at any one time. Another area about the Gravity Asset Manager is that we have our encoders and we have our schedulers. What's nice about our encoders, and we don't really have a great deal set up here, is that each encoder will have a separate channel feeding into it. As the material comes in, we create 3 different formats. We have a high resolution, a medium resolution, and a low resolution. The low resolution is for our web. The medium resolution is what we edit with, our proxy. And the high is the one that we broadcast. From the asset manager, we can then go ahead and assign jobs. So if I know that I have 20 editors, I can assign this job to you, this job to you, this job to you. When the editor comes and logs in the morning, he or she will see this little assignment flashing, which means he knows that he's got jobs. If I open this up, I can see the jobs available to me, double click, and just load that material in. Here in media, we have all of the available clips, just like you saw before. We have a source window, we have an edit window, and we have a timeline. Now the timeline, let me just place something down there. This timeline, I can just scrub through, switch this to 16:9. The lovely thing about the timeline is I can work 4:3, 16:9, HDSD, all on the same timeline. It's ssldv.net.
نتابع معنا الأسبوع الأول من التغطية الخاصة والحصرية بايتاك لمعرض NAB 2010 بلاس فيغاس، وسنشاهد معا بعد الفاصل نظام تقني متكامل للإنذار والتأهب العام، طرق تحسين النتائج في محركات البحث. تتابعون ايتاك عبر الحرة والحرة.com ويوتيوب.com/الحرة، وآخر أخبار التقنيات والبرنامج من خلال فيسبوك وتويتر على ايتاك شو. تتابعون ايتاك عبر الحرة والحرة.com ويوتيوب.com/الحرة، وآخر أخبار التقنيات والبرنامج من خلال فيسبوك وتويتر على ايتاك شو. نعود إليكم مشاهدي ايتاك عبر قناة الحرة لمتابعة الأسبوع الأول من التغطية الخاصة والحصرية بايتاك لمعرض NAB 2010 من لاس فيغاس، وسنشاهد معا الآن نظام تقني متكامل للإنذار والتأهب العام، طرق تحسين النتائج في محركات البحث. الوكالة الاتحادية لإدارة الطوارئ فيما Federal Emergency Management Agency التابعة لوزارة الأمن الداخلي الأمريكية عرضت هنا في NAB 2010 بلاس فيغاس نظام متكامل للإنذار والتأهب العام IPAS Integrated Public Alert and Warning System، الذي يعتمد على بعث رسالة عاجلة بواسطة كل وسائل الإعلام والاتصال العاملة في أمريكا بشكل فوري وفي نفس الوقت. فلنتعرف كيف.
FEMA is here this year to demonstrate integrated public alert and warning for the nation, IPAS. We use that as the acronym to stand for Integrated Public Alert and Warning, and certainly that was defined through executive order as well as through presidential memorandums that have been issued to the Department of Homeland Security and FEMA. On the emergency manager side, this suite of capabilities is based on a standard and a protocol called the Common Alerting Protocols. That allows for basically structured, well-defined messages that can be generated at the state and local level, as well as by our federal partners over here. It's all standards-based, allows a number of technologies and tools to operate kind of interdependent as well as part of a integrated suite of tools. Once that message is generated and the necessary validation checks take place, then that message can then be transmitted over the network through our IPAS aggregator that we stood up in 2008 and agreed to build for the nation. That's also a suite of services, if you're familiar with web services and tools of that nature, service-oriented architectures. that will allow that message to traverse our iPod's aggregator. From the aggregator, once the message traverses the aggregator, then it will go out via a set of gateways that are here that provides for interoperability between the federal aggregator and these dissemination methods that have been stood up by broadcasters as well as other technology or dissemination providers. The first one is the emergency alert system. That's the legacy emergency alert system that's been around since the early 1950s under the CONELRAD program that was stood up by President Truman. The second one is through cell broadcast. That's through the commercial mobile alerting system. So the next one is internet services as we build out the next generation of alert and warning networks where we will be able to send that message directly to a device to alert American citizens or folks who may be traveling or transiting the U.S. NOAA, the National Oceanographic Atmospheric Administration, NOAA, and then also we built out a capability called the Geo-Targeted Alerting System, which will allow us to integrate with state and local capabilities, primarily their emergency telephone notification or reverse 911. And so this is an example of what a message using one of those tools might look like when it's populated with information about an event. And so after going through and populating the message, what we can do is just send that message, hit the submit button, which we'll get, are you ready to post this alert? The answer is yes. This message is now going from this particular workstation to our federal aggregator that is located down in Mississippi. And so the alert has just appeared on the screen. In addition to that, there are beacons and sirens associated with the Alertus tool suite that goes off as well. So you've heard the alarm go off. There's Alert FM to take advantage of FM broadcast technology, as well as NOAA weather radio. There are encoders and decoders that are at radio station as well as television stations that will carry the message as well and then rebroadcast it. The website to get additional information on iPods is www.fema.gov/emergency/iPods, IPAWS.
عند التفتيش في محركات البحث كجوجل وياهو، كيف تظهر النتائج وعلى أي أساس؟ هناك علم وأبحاث في ذلك، وعمل دؤوب متخصص لإظهار المواقع الأجدر والأفضل في صدارة محركات البحث. كيف؟ هذا ما تقدمه أورنج سودا.
We're a search engine marketing company, so we deal with search engine optimization, SEO, PPC, which is pay-per-click, and maps optimization. It's kind of showed up in the last year, but on Google, Yahoo, Bing, typically when you're looking for a product, you go online, you type it into the search engines, and you'll see those links that say sponsored links. It's kind of hidden in the corner, and those are pay-per-click. So, and we deal management for that, and then there's also search engine optimization, which is the organic results, as we call it. And if you type in those terms, obviously most people click on the first 3 links in the organic results. Well, pay-per-click, as I was saying, is up here. It's in these general areas. And like I said, that's more oriented towards basically make sure you get up there as a source as quickly as possible. And then maps, if you have a storefront, you'll notice that over the past year, Google, when you type in a search term on Google, it'll bring up a storefront. The bottom line always comes down to Google, Yahoo, Bing, they're always changing their algorithms because they want to say, this person is relevant, this person is trusted. And so, well, what's ways that Google can tell? Well, how many people are citing your site? How many links are there out there for you? How many, even that, how many people are mentioning you? And if they're mentioning you, is this real content or is this spam? Are you scouring the web and just putting tons of stuff out there? So we've developed strategic ways to distribute content for you that talks about you or that references you in a professional, trusted, relevant way, which makes Google, as it scours the web, say, well, everybody's looking at this guy for cosmetic dentistry in Provo, Utah. He must be the relevant source of information, the relevant source for getting this done. So there are a lot of strategies. More than anything, it's really time consuming. And so we've developed technology behind how to do this effectively and also how to make sure you can see the results and the tracking. Well, they pay by the month. And as the months go on, we show you how you're increasing in rank. It takes a little while. Search engine optimization can take 6 to 8 months, which is why we typically do it in combination with pay-per-click. www.orangesoda.com.
في الأسبوع الأول من التغطية الخاصة والحصرية بآيتاك لمعرض NAB 2010 بلاس فيغاس، شاهدنا معا اليوم أول كاميرا تصوير محمولة ثلاثية الأبعاد، البث التلفزيوني الحديث من خلال الخوادم وتقنية المعلومات، أحدث طرق إدارة الموجودات والمواد المصورة، نظام تقني متكامل للإنذار والتأهب العام، طرق تحسين النتائج في محركات البحث. إلى هنا مشاهدي آيتاك عبر قناة الحرة نأتي لختام الأسبوع الأول من التغطية الخاصة والحصرية بآيتاك لمعرض NAB 2010 الرابطة الوطنية للإعلاميين، هذا المعرض المتخصص بالتقنيات الإعلامية المرئية والمسموعة. لضخامة الحدث الأسبوع المقبل أيضا سنلتقي من هنا مع مجموعة جديدة من اللقاءات والتقارير. إلى ذلك الحين نتواصل دائما عبر بريدنا الإلكتروني aitak@alhurra.com. يمكن مشاهدة هذه الحلقة وحلقات أخرى من آيتاك في أي وقت على الإنترنت وموقع youtube.com/الحرة. آخر أخبار التقنيات والبرنامج تابعوها دائما من خلال فيسبوك وتويتر على آيتاك شو. شكرا لكم جميعا وإلى اللقاء الأسبوع المقبل من هنا من لاس فيغاس.